Just a couple days ago, at the time of this video's recording, it was announced that we are going to be getting a brand new mythical Pokemon announced later this month for Pokemon Day, February 27th. Now obviously any kind of announcement like this in any capacity is extremely exciting because it's a brand new Pokemon, and getting brand new Pokemon is always really fun. But this time in particular, it is especially special, not only because it is a mythical Pokemon as opposed to any other kind of Pokemon, but because of the way that this mythical Pokemon is getting announced. It has been extensively documented over the past several years that mythical Pokemon lately don't really feel as mythical or special as they used to anymore, because not only do you not even really catch them anymore because you just get given them by a delivery man in the Pokemart via a distribution event, but on top of that, we don't even really get the thrill of being able to see them for the first time in an official reveal trailer, because over the past couple generations, that opportunity and that thrill has been stolen from us by data miners who immediately data mine the games as soon as they are revealed, which in turn reveals the presence of these mythical Pokemon before Game Freak and the Pokemon Company are ready to officially show them off. And all of this together really lessens the overall impact that mythical Pokemon are supposed to have on the franchise and the fans as well. So when it was announced that not only are we getting a mythical Pokemon that we did not know about before, but we are effectively going to be able to see it for the first time in this reveal as opposed to it getting data mined, is extremely exciting, because frankly, this is a return to form for mythical Pokemon, and this is the way that they were always supposed to be. And after thinking for a little bit how awesome it was that mythical Pokemon are kind of sort of returning to form with this announcement, it also got me thinking about all of the other awesome things that Pokemon Sword and Shield has brought to the franchise in this generation, and collectively thinking about all of the stuff that was introduced in Sword and Shield alone, let alone everything else we still have to go within the entirety of Generation 8, made me think about the possibility that this mythical Pokemon announcement, as well as everything else we have seen in this generation to this point, could actually make Generation 8 a nearly perfect Pokemon generation when it is all said and done. Now before you fire up your torches and grab your pitchforks, I'm not trying to say that Pokemon Sword and Shield, or even Generation 8 for that matter, is perfect by any means. Obviously, we have had a ton of discussions about a ton of very specific issues that people have with the game that I'm not really going to go into it here, but suffice it to say that there are some things about Pokemon Sword and Shield that could definitely be improved upon. However, for as much as other people might want me and other fans to hate Pokemon Sword and Shield for the reasons that they believe the games are bad, I am not going to ignore the fact that these games are introducing a crap ton of stuff that fans have wanted for years, and are basically doing everything that fans have really wanted to see the Pokemon franchise do, and it really is just so refreshing to see so many awesome things introduced in such a short amount of time. Just to recap some of the things that we have already known about for a while, there's the fact that Pokemon Sword and Shield, as well as effectively the rest of the main series titles in this generation, are going to be on a home console, which is something that Pokemon fans have wanted forever. There's the fact that there are Pokemon roaming in the overworld. This game is at least partly open world. There are awesome new Pokemon, regional variants returned, new evolutions to old Pokemon returned. There are a ton of quality of life improvements in this game, and we haven't even got to the expansions, which aren't even out yet but are jam-packed with content way more than the enhanced third versions that they are emulating, and they are also introducing DLC to the franchise, which is another thing that fans have really wanted. And oh, by the way, they are doing all of this for half of the price of what you would buy a third enhanced game for. So there are improvements and things that fans have wanted to see all over the place when it comes to Sword and Shield and the arrival of Generation 8. So I feel like it is very important to remember that even though Pokemon Sword and Shield have been highly criticized games, that does not discount the fact that they have introduced an absolute avalanche of amazing content, and not only content that is amazing, but also content that has been very specifically requested by Pokemon fans to be included in Pokemon games, and it did it all within one title. So when the announcement was made that we were also going to be able to be properly introduced to a brand new mythical Pokemon for the first time in almost a decade without it getting spoiled in some way, shape, or form, on top of all of the other awesome stuff that we have already got to experience, really got me thinking about how amazing Generation 8 is shaping up to be, especially considering that we're still on the first game of this generation, and the generation as a whole is still only a couple of months old. Additionally, the reason why this whole thing is so awesome is because of the potential it has to become even better than it already is once we actually learn more about it. As you guys probably know, the way that Game Freak have handled mythical Pokemon over the past several years has been one of the franchise's biggest issues and problems, because nothing is more frustrating or deflating than being handed one of the world's supposedly most powerful and rare creatures for absolutely no effort in exchange whatsoever. And insult is added to injury here because of the fact that as mythicals, these Pokemon are supposed to have a ton of lore and story behind them, but because of the way they are distributed, they get absolutely none of that whatsoever, at least that we are able to experience as players within official gameplay. So just the simple fact that they are fixing the way they are showing off the mythical Pokemon to prevent it from being spoiled could very well mean that they are also evaluating other parts of mythical Pokemon as well, and are actually going to give this Pokemon, whatever it is, some kind of event that we actually get to experience and play through within the games themselves, which is what everyone has been wanting for basically an entire decade. And I know this is a huge assumption to make, especially when I am using it to describe how Gen 8 could very well be nearly perfect when it's all said and done. However, I do feel pretty confident that this is the direction that this mythical Pokemon is going to take, because of the fact that we've already essentially been introduced to 2 event Pokemon already, effectively fixing this problem before this mythical is even announced. And I say this because of the presence of Kubfu, Urshifu, and Calyrex. Now granted, these Pokemon are all legendaries and not mythicals, but essentially serve the exact same purpose because they are all legendary type Pokemon who feature in an event in the expansions that you will be able to obtain once you actually play through and go through the event yourself, which is essentially an exact return to form in terms of what we want for both legendaries and mythicals alike, and is reminiscent of the golden age of event legendary and mythical Pokemon that we saw during the days of Generation 4. And speaking of Generation 4, the Generation 4 remakes are very likely going to be a part of Generation 8 as well, and considering how long and how highly anticipated these games have been, just their presence in Generation 8 alone is going to give this generation as a whole a huge step up in terms of where it stands within the entirety of Pokemon's history. And even though it's a remake, if they are doing all of this amazing stuff for Pokemon Sword and Shield, imagine what they are going to do in terms of pulling out all of the stops for these highly anticipated Diamond and Pearl remakes. And thanks to the expansions that this new mythical Pokemon will likely feature in, the problems that Generation 8 and Pokemon Sword and Shield have had up to this point might not even really be problems anymore when it is all said and done, because as we have seen in the expansion, 200 plus Pokemon that were cut from the national dex in the base game are being added back into the game even if you don't have the expansions. So who is to say that they won't do the same thing for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes when those come out as well, which would effectively add in the rest of the Pokemon that still aren't in the game after the expansions come out, which will effectively give us the entire national dex in all of the games regardless if you buy the remakes or the expansions or whatever, because they are showing that they will update the base games to include the compatibility for these Pokemon even if you don't buy these additional products. And once again, I know that this is a big claim to make, especially if we're using it to say that Generation 8 could be nearly perfect when it's all said and done, but nevertheless, it is a claim that at least has some evidence to back it up in terms of the possibility of it actually happening, and overall, whether it be the Diamond and Pearl remakes happening in this generation, or the fact that we might see mythical Pokemon returning to form in this generation, or the fact that we are truly getting to see a mythical Pokemon Pokemon revealed to us the right way for the first time in what seems like forever. It just seems like, at least to me, that Game Freak are adding all of the exact things that we want in this generation, and barring the things that these games could improve upon, I personally think that this is one of the best generations that we have ever had already in terms of what it brought to the table, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this generation ends up developing moving on and where we stand once it's all said and done, because I believe this generation has as much potential as we've ever seen in any generation to be the best one that we have ever seen. But with all that being said, that is just my little commentary on why I think this new mythical Pokemon and the announcement surrounding it is so awesome and means so much for this generation of Pokemon. I know that this could be seen as somewhat of a controversial take given all of the criticisms that Sword and Shield has received, but I do genuinely feel this way, and it's not like I'm trying to say that Generation 8 or Sword and Shield is completely perfect either. As I said in the beginning of the video, there's obviously things that can be improved upon and can be made better. However, I don't think it is to discredit at the same time all of the amazing things that we have seen in this generation already and all that is inevitably yet to come. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to give it a like and let me know all of your thoughts about this in the comments below. If you are new to the channel as well, be sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content all the time, and you can support the channel further if you would like by listening to my Pokemon remixes on Spotify and checking out my Pokemon Cardinal project if you haven't yet either. With all of that being said though, I will be back on Thursday with another video, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you can know when it goes live, and with all of that being said, as always, I love you guys very much, and until the next one, I will smell you guys later.